So,
All
if
right.
you could just start out and introduce yourself and say where and when you were born.
My name is Ralph E. Cirillo, Cirillo, because some people say it's Cirillo, some of it's everywhere. In Bristol, they slur it anyway. And I was born right here in this town of Bristol, in my grandmother and grandfather's bed. All the men are now starting drinking wine, betting on what it's going to be. And I came out as a boy, and I was like a prince. All the Italians, you know, the first grandchild, a boy. And I could name that as my grandfather, so that made me.
That's the same way with the Greeks.
Same nationality. We have of it. Walk proud.
So, what memories do you have growing up in Bristol and with the Depression?
Well, Bristol was a great town. We were all poor, but we didn't know it. And I never went to bed hungry because there was always something to eat, bread and milk or whatever we had. And we all shared everything. I started eating an apple, my friend would finish it. Save me the corn, they say. And no one got germs. No germs in those, or something. I don't know how that happened, but no one got sick from that.
And did you go to Mount Hope High? Or?
No, it was Colt Memorial at that time.
Right,
Yes,
right.
we have that marble school on Hope Street. That's that babies are going there now. They have the kids who. That was the high school. And then they built the one across the street, the Andrews School later. So that took care of like the overflow.
Okay.
And of course, they had a brand new gym. You could play basketball in there. So that was the Bristol school system. It was all those schools are all memorial schools. All the ones we have, except for the high school now, which is Mount Hope High. And that's the only one we paid for. And then, it's not great. So, you know, it's not hard staff. But little by little, all the schools are being like abandoned now. They're using. I think Ridgewood is one of them for.
Oh yeah, for foreign kids.
Yes. I guess English and ESL is it?
Yeah,
like
ELS.
Yeah, well, hey, you got to learn the language. You got to take the money. You got to pay.
So, what were you doing when Pearl Harbor was bombed? Do you remember the day?
I was
How you
my
did the
grandfather and I and my kid brother went to the Pastime Theater. And it was a Sunday night, which was I always had two movies on weekends. Early show like 6 o'clock, and the later ones at 8. You know, movies those days. And when we come out, they announced that Pearl Harbor was bombed. And I was only, I was 41, but that's 26. I was about 14 years old. I couldn't go. I wanted to go, but not 14. They wouldn't let me. They talk to me. So of course I went to work in the wire company in town, U.S. Rubber Company, fixing shift during the war, and 4 hours. You know, like 3 to 7 or 7 to 11, because at the age they wouldn't let you work all the extra hours. Mm-hmm. And I made a little bit of money for the house, because my mother and father were divorced. My grandfather died, and all of a sudden I'm 16 years old, I'm the man of the house. Hello, you know. So I had to get some money, bring some money home. Because grandma only worked when she was young, and she was the grandma, and grandma didn't stay at home, took care of the kids in the house. And my mother worked in the factory. So it was a little struggle, but we just went right along and survived and helped each other out. But then I said, I gotta go. The war's gonna end, and I'll miss it. You know, young crazy kid. So one day I skipped school and went to Providence. Sergeant LeBlanc, met him and volunteered. They had all the information and had a preliminary physical. And I passed all that, and I had to get the final physical. I had to go to Boston. But now I had to get permission from Mama. That wasn't easy.
Yeah.
So I brought the paper home for her to sign, which was fine. I said, Ma, I need you. Yes, what is it? She says, will you sign this paper for me? What is that? What is that? I says, well, this is so I can be a Marine. I want to go to the Marine Corps. Oh, no, you can't. You're going to stay. She says, Ma, and next month, I'll be 18. I'm going to get drafted in the Army. I don't want to go in the Army. I don't want to go in the Navy. So she says, well, what am I doing? I said, Mom, please just sign it. Let me go to the Marines. I want to go. So she didn't like it, but she signed the paper. And I turned it in, went up there to Boston for the final physical, which was almost a whole day.
Were there a lot of other people up there with you?
Yeah, oh God, there were a lot of guys, and some guys, a lot of them get rejected. Some went to the Navy, some went to the Army. I wanted to be a Marine. That was my goal.
What made you decide to be a Marine?
I don't know. I just wanted to be a Marine. You know.
Did you know anyone who was, or?
Oh, I knew all about the Marine Cash because I mean, you see the movies and I read books and all that stuff, and I knew what I really wanted to be was a Marine and get out of this town. It's hick town, you know. And I'm so glad I came back though. But I passed the physical, and they said, all right, you go home. We're going to send you a letter, tell you when we go report. You got to go to Paris Island boot camp. It won't be right away, but it'll be in a few weeks. Okay. I was bragging all my face. I'm a Marine. You guys got to bother me. I did all that big stuff, and it was great. So one day I get the letter. So I had to kiss everybody goodbye. And
Can I just ask a couple quick questions?
oh, sure, go right ahead.
So before you entered the Marine Corps,
Mhm.
from 1941 to 1940, well, even before that, did you ever have any inclination or any thought that the U.S. would go to war? Were you
No.
about that, or?
We never thought about a war at all. And the funny thing is, we should have been. We were a little stupid because every week there was a ship from Japan,
With the scrap
private, loading up with scrap metal. They took all our scrap and gave it back to us in bombs. Hello.
Yeah.
So, but no one thought of a war against a little country like Japan,
Yeah.
who was fighting Chinese, and they were having a good time out there killing the poor Chinese people like crazy. So I never thought about a war. And that era, we never thought of war. Because the depression, want to get out of that, get money and make money to buy food and clothes.
So after the U.S. got into the war, were you keeping up to date with what was going on?
Oh yeah, it didn't matter every day. I was getting mad by the minute. Then because the movies, because they showed you how the Japanese were treating the people in Bataan and all that stuff. I couldn't. They were holding me back. I wanted to go so bad.
Did you know other people that were going? Were you talking
Well,
to
some of
them?
the guys in town that joined. A couple of the boys got killed. One of my best friends was one of the first guys. He got killed on Guadalcanal. Tony Cruz, Tony Almeida. He was a good up-and-coming young boxer.
Really?
Yeah, he was putting with Bonnie Ross and those big fighters, and he thought he was going to be something. In Guadalcanal is where he got killed right there, and that maybe I don't know what it was. It was like personal, personal. They do that to my friend. Because we used to play football down we call it the tan yards. No equipment. You just run with the ball and bang heads. it was great. We bounced back good. Yeah, so that was a kind of a shock when my buddy got killed. That's when you say it's real. Yeah. The other stuff was like in the news, in the movies, you know. When one of your friends gets that, you sort of hit you in the gut.
Were you feeling any rationing and like any?
Oh yeah, the food was we couldn't get butter. That's when margarine came out. Looked like a white lard, a yellow pill to change the color, and it tasted like white lard.
Yeah.
You know. And the food, the meat was you would get so many ounces of meat if you could get it. Well, there was a struggle that way. And we didn't have any farms, except for a few little tomatoes growing in the backyard, but that's tomato time, not the winter time.
Bristol's a pretty patriotic town now as it is. It must have been.
Oh, it was so more, yeah. Oh, yes, even then. I mean, the parade we have now, of course, it's much bigger than what we used to have because the routes are shorter and the floats and everything's a lot bigger. But those are the great parades in our day. Because everybody that was in the parade, you knew.
Yeah.
See, now this year I was in the 4th of July parade.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I rode
down here for it.
I rode on the 2012 Corvette, black on black, brand spanking new. I was sitting up there like, and they treated me very, very good. And of course, a lot of the people at Holland, they knew me because I've been around. I had a whole bunch of kids in Little League for 17, 18 years. I was a coach down there, and midget football, and I was in a chain gang at the high school football gang. So a lot of guys knew me. And I didn't know the names, but I called them Clam Digger or Grandma, and they all knew me. So when we were driving on the parade route, the girl was driving, she said, "What are they calling you now?" I said, "Those are gangs in play Little League. Well, they call me Grandma, the other guy called me Clam Digger." It was just all local stuff, Because a lot of those kids, like, "Come on, you Clam Digger, get back and forth."
Yep.
Because I forget, all those kids, and you remember the names? I'm old. But I enjoyed every minute of it, though. The kids were great. The parents weren't that great. But most of the kids were all good. I was very fortunate. We had a Little League baseball team, and they were the best kids around, and we had a wonderful season. Perfect. We lost every game. The kids lost every game, and they were so happy. Everybody showed up. Every kid showed up for every game. The other guys winning teams said, "What are you doing?" They're kids. They're playing ball.
Yeah.
You guys throw stones at them, you holler at them, you miss them. They're kids. They're not professionals. What's the matter with you? So they got that concept, champion.
Yeah.
They were the best team they had. No wins. There's 14 games, 14 losses.
Okay, so back to, you go to Boston, you pass the physical.
All set,
You
yep.
waited a couple weeks. When you finally, were you
get the
saying
word,
goodbyes at the time? Or
All set,
time
yep.
about that?
I had, I left school. I could say bye to my girl, bye to all of my parents and stuff. With the Bowers on the bus, the train to Boston, went to the neighbor place up there, and they put us at this hotel in Scully Square. That's the strip area in Boston, that era then, you know. And of course it was, well, that's that thing on the windowsill. Oh my. The next morning we parted and get on the train, we had Paris Island. Well, we had the train we had was a coal train, and the smoke was coming up there, and you had to keep the windows closed because the smoke came in and you got sun all over you. We finally made it. They pulled us off to the side, let the cattle cars go by. We were sitting there waiting because cattle was very important. So we're just going to book out now, what do we know? So we finally hit Paris Island. We get up there, then you find out this is the real world. You're not the human, you're not a marine, you're nothing. You're lower than whale crap, that's at the bottom of the ocean. And so, and everything, yes sir. You didn't send the attention on them. And some of those, most of them were rebels. They were rebels, the Southern boys.
Yeah.
And oh boy, they had lorded over us. And it was yes sir. There was no messing around.
So you get off the train. What was the?
They're waiting for you. You're lined to line up. Now you're just like you see the kids running around. They don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
And then turn left. Column left. Who's going right? Who's turning upside down? They don't know where they're going. They finally got us headed through the barracks. We went through to get the issue of clothes. That's another thing. They don't look at it. You just threw it aside. You're going to fit it. You'll grow into it. The only thing was the shoes were good. I mean, they put stuff on you. You had to stand on a thing there, like they X-ray your feet. You had full buckets of sand so you to see how you.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only thing they really took care of. And those shoes could go on coral and last and last and last. They don't make those shoes anymore. You can't even find them. But they had to last because we was on coral when you made those landings most of the islands. Okinawa was the only one that we just walked the shore. Was no strain or pain.
So what was the training like on Paris Island?
12 weeks of glorious agony. It started at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. You had to go out there and do exercises until 3 or 4 guys threw up. Then you go for breakfast. And then after that, you get back, you get out there, and you get your rifle, and then you start your drilling. You're drilling, and you're marching, and you got to get your left from your right. You got to know which way to go, and they give you these commands. And you're assigned to different squads. And they went by height. Unfortunately, I was one of the taller guys, so I had a squad. Everybody was in front. They always put the shortest guy in the front, so when we were marching, we wouldn't go past him.
Oh, okay.
His steps a little smaller.
Yeah.
And because then you get all these drills on the, left flank, right flank, left of the beak, all the drills for marching.
And you were, like you said, you were 17 when you entered, and you turned.
I turned 18 in boot camp.
Were you one of the younger ones, or were there?
One of the young ones, not the youngest one. There's other kids. A lot of kids were in there early. There was one kid they found out he was all younger than that. He took him right out. They got him, sent him home to mom. He got in though, but I think he was 15.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a big 15. Some of these lobsters grow.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard stories of kids actually.
Yeah.
But actually making it to combat.
Yes, they did. Yes, it's amazing, but they did. I'll tell you, they were very gung ho.
So,
not that hoorah like they did with that hoorah. That's new, because when my day it was gung ho.
Yeah.
I said, where did hoorah come from?
So, once you are on Paris Island, is that where you
That's
chose?
all your basic training was right at Paris Island. Yeah.
And how is that where they told you were going to become a rifleman, or how?
No, they were deciding on it. That where your training sort of dictated what you were going to wind up doing. Whatever. They watched how you reacted because they had these different drills and different exhibitions and you had to perform. And some guys did very good. Other guys they were all divided up pretty. They were pretty smart on that.
And did you have a tough drill sergeant or anything like that?
We had one guy. His name was Corporal Lily. Now, as you know, there are two kinds of lilies. There's the Easter lily and the tiger lily. Boy, you knew that right away. Matter of fact, one kid got caught on a Sunday morning after church, because he was marching to church if you wanted to go. They didn't make you go, but if you wanted. And he went to the PX. And we were told, don't go to the PX. He went there to buy candy and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that little action, being caught there, our platoon was forbidden to go to the PX at all for the whole 12 weeks.
Wow.
Once a week, they sent one guy there to buy stuff for everybody. The whole platoon couldn't go to the PX. And they got away with it. I couldn't get it. We got a howling complaint. But you didn't dare. You didn't dare because you'd be in more trouble.
So are there any specific things that stick out from boot camp that you remember most? Like good memories, bad memories?
Oh, the good memories are great. Bad memories, we almost saw one kid drown and with the use of marches. And for spite, sometimes they make us march at night with just your shorts on and the gnats are biting your center of attention. And you can't do that to get the, oh my God, they get in your eyes, you get in your ears, you can't move your attention, you can't be doing that crap. So that was like agony. And then they march us off, and we marched right into the creek that's right out there in the back. And the small guy was in the front, and it was over his head. We almost had to grab him. Because later on, they did have that, and one kid drowned in that later on, not our gang, but that was stopped, I guess, when. Because then you have to go, they give you swimming lessons if you can't swim, but we have from Bristol.
Yeah.
That was a joke.
Yeah. So from after you graduated from boot camp in 12 weeks, was there a ceremony?
You know, they had a great big ceremony, because you practice a lot of drilling for that. Mm-hmm. And they have the band is playing. That's the great drilling with the band playing. You can march and you get a little more of a swagger, you know. And then, of course, after that's all over,
and that's when
they get you get assigned, and they call you up. And we go into Camp Lejeune, the Fleet Marine Force. That's you're going to go fight. We started out with 74 men, I think it was, or 76 men in my platoon at boot camp. And 12 weeks later, 34 of us graduated. That was left. Because if you missed 2 days of training, you went back another platoon automatically because it was too fast.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't catch up. You had to just do all you left. So that was one thing. And I was one of the 34. I made it.
I'm sure you were proud of that, right?
Oh, I was. At the rifle range, too. I think I shot 307. 306 is perfect. Wow. I got 307, was an expert. And hey, that's $5 more a month.
Were you being trained by veterans at that point?
No, our drill instructors were the ones that trained us. They were trained to teach us.
I'm saying, by any chance, were your drill instructors already combat veterans at that point?
I can say I don't think so.
Okay.
But they had a lot of experience with the maneuvers and drills they had been all that.
Uh-huh.
I don't think we might have had one guy, but I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Okay. So, Camp Lejeune, what?
Well, that was the next one. That's advanced training.
Yeah.
Well, we went to Camp Lejeune, and it's crazy because Camp Lejeune was like another world.
That's in North Carolina?
So, yeah, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. And when we get there, there's a list of names, alphabetical. Mm-hmm. And don't you think the Marine Corps, with mess duty, you get it a month at a time. Not like the Army one day. But they give you $5 extra in your pay. ABC, mess duty, me. First thing you know, the guys are training, I'm on mess duty, peeling potatoes. But it works good because I get friendly with all the cooks and bakers.
Yeah.
Oh, I was in. Hey, baby. Oh my God. And I had to learn all the, all the different ways. And I was the guy what they call the sergeant at arms in the mess hall. Right in traffic. And then of course they wanted more potatoes. Oh, excuse me, wanted more potatoes. So I say, mess survey, and you bring some more stuff.
Sure, no problem.